These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Frank 26 article, quote, "The International Monetary Fund welcomes Iraq's ascension to a program that supports economic reforms," unquote. Frank 26 says, "All I could say was, holy cow, that's huge. The IMF, remember who they are. They are the ones who give Iraq/CBI permission to raise or lower the value of their currency, to print or destroy currency. Everything they do in their banking structure is governed by the IMF. This is the announcement by the IMF that Iraq is international." Nader from the Mideast says, we coming out of war. We're coming out of the worst thing in our life. We just start to walk. We just start to grow. It almost collapsed, but it didn't collapse. It maintained itself and just, I'm sorry, it said it maintained itself and maintained himself stable. The only thing that destabilized the economy of Iraq is the war. Iraq is a very strong country. In a couple years, Iraq is going to be one of the stronger countries in the world. Iraq is very strong. Nader goes on to say Iraq survived the worst thing in their life. We survived 3 or 4 wars in the last 50 years. We survived it, and each time we came back, and we came back strong. This time we're going to come back very strong. Iraq economy never collapsed by itself. Iraq economy always has been stable unless someone else disabled it for them. Iraq's economy is one of the best economies in the world. It's going to come back to the best economy in the world. Nader says the negative things about Iraq will never revalue. It's a scam. That's all BS. Iraq's going to come back one day, and it's going to come back soon. Pimpy says infrastructure, education, tourism, oil and gas, agriculture, electricity, energy. A big chunk of these projects are targeted to be done at the end of 2025. If this is accomplished by Iraq, this would be a huge facelift to the entire country. Now, what is the problem Iraq has always had? In the past, they would start them and then steal money and never complete projects. If they could just keep the corruption low and do what they say they're going to do, these are why I think the Iraqi dinar will go up in increments. Militiaman says Al Sudani, Central Bank of Iraq, the whole country is going to bring confidence to the international financial system. They also stated the largest banks in the world, who's there in Davos, is involved JP Morgan Chase and all the bigger banks. Claire has an article, quote, "An exciting statement by Al Sudani. How will Iraq double its non-oil revenues by 200% in just 2 years? Quote, for oil revenues to be 80% of total revenues, non-oil revenues must be more than 24 trillion dinars, which means doubling them by about 200% of their current number." Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground report Firefly on the economic news. An economic specialist is saying Iraq needs to use basket of currencies to add value to the dinar against the dollar. Frank says Sudani sends out another expert in the financial field that you know and trust. Exactly what we've been telling you. This is the next phase in our opinion. This is the most powerful part of the monetary reform education to you as an Iraqi citizen. The basket of currencies is required in order to add value to the Iraqi dinar. Frank goes on to say they will never talk to you about something that needs to be done. They will talk to you about it after it is done. That is what is called the float, and that is what is going to take you back to your RI. Your currency rate has to be reinstated back to 322, but that's the international side of Iraq. The goal of the CBI is to reach the real effective exchange rate. In doing so, it adds value to you even though it's 1-to-1 in country. It will stay at 1-to-1 to the American dollar in Iraq, but you will finally have your purchasing power that you have long awaited for. Pimpy, response to Nader's Iraq economy is one of the best in the world. Pimpy says, no, it's not right now. There are other contributing factors. Pimpy says, I agree in the future they're going to be fine, but I'm talking about now. Anything is possible in the future, but in their current position, these things are what's wrong that need to be fixed. Militiaman says it's absolutely a fact Iraq is talking about the WTO. They're taking it seriously. Saudi Arabia, being one of the main focus points in the region, are giving utmost support. They said there's no political boundaries anymore. They've completed everything they need to do to get it in, and I think it's awesome. I think it's great. Lastly, we have Paulette that says, I am very encouraged that if they can get their parallel market rate within 2% ending the MCP, they currently have everything we are hoping for will begin to move quickly. Based on Aki's reports, it appears all is ready behind the scenes.